This was the first time and only time in Cambridge that I have been at the brink of tears. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I've been gone for a minute, but if you follow the chronology of all of these videos, all will make sense because right now I'm going back to front. In tradition of updating you about my university experience and doing my being at Cambridge like video logs, coming at you like a diary, I am going to talk about the second term of my second year. Academically, literally, after being cautioned about writing exclusively about 3 black authors for my portfolio, yes, which is a conversation that we'll have a different day, I decided, okay, in the first term, I was doing a paper 7 dissertation and a paper 6 portfolio. And with portfolios, you have the option to build up on essays that you did in first year. But did I do any good essays in first year? I don't think so, darling. So I had to start everything from scratch. And then, me being me, halfway through the term, bear in mind we have 8 weeks, halfway through the term, week 4, I'm like, wait a minute, I've just realised I don't want to do this. I swapped my paper 7 for a portfolio and paper 6 for a dissertation. Now I have to do a dissertation in half a term. And bear in mind, in the first term we're doing medieval, and in the second term we're doing Renaissance, and then all together in both terms we're doing prac crit. So those are all papers. So bear in mind you're juggling this and juggling that and juggling that. Like everything is going on. Everything is going on. When I tell you, second year took my edges. That's why I'm wearing this. Second year took my edges. Like, I'm still shook. My paper 7 portfolio supervisor was like such a prolific academic, like a huge academic, like huge. Their supervision styles was so different from what I was used to. But in the end, the only 2-1 I got was from that academic, so something worked. But it was probably because I was doing things like I actually like wanted to and liked, which is a conversation for a different day because we're gonna go into English at Cambridge, darling. One day we're gonna talk about it. I remember this was the first time and only time in Cambridge that I have been at the brink of tears. Literally, I was meant to email the academic my essay, and I had done the essay. Bear in mind, the essay was done. I'd done it, but because the academic is so big, I was just so shook. So I was like, if I send it to them, they won't like them, and I was being like a saboteur, like, and self-deprecating, and I was just like, oh, it's not good enough, it's not up to scratch to send to this academic, and I was literally like having a panic attack thinking about it, and then I'd feel like, okay, let me send it, but then I'd be like, no, don't send it. And then one day I'm minding my own business and I check my email and I see my DOS email me, and I'm like, okay, that must just be like check up. And then I see under my DOS the academic, which means the academic emailed first. So I opened the email and it was like, not even a hi, how are you, not even a dear, not even anything. It was,
where is the essay that you said you were going to send me? Please have a bit more respect for my time.
and then their initial. And I was shook. Literally, I just felt like crying because at the same time as being like enamored by that academic, I was like just going through a lot at the time, like which will make sense, and like it will make sense in the next video what I was going through. But like it was just kind of like, wow, this place is relentless. And I know that people probably get emails like that all the time, but this is my first one and my only one. So, and it was kind of, felt like a bit like being in secondary school and being told off, like So that was a nice feeling, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But in the end, it all worked out. And best believe, I handed in all the essays they wanted when they wanted them. Like, I was like, yes, I will do the work for you, yes. And I'd done an essay on Ben Johnson's The Mask of Blackness, and I'd like, in the same way, like you look at gender, right? In a literary essay, you can do that. So I did that, but for race. But then the supervisor was like, it's not literary enough. And I was just a bit confused. And then as well, they were like, oh, I'm not familiar with this work. So, because I decided to blackify my degree and do my own thing, darling, I did not know that you have to do what these lot want you to do. And I thought, I come in here to like look into my interests and explore what I like. And no, like that's not how it works. Like more time, your academic sends you a reading list and you have to do the stuff on the reading list. And then they lie to you and say that, yeah, but you can do extra reading outside that. And is there time to do extra reading? No, there isn't. I'll go into English and Cambridge because it's so frustrating, and it's like, what did I tell you? There are no people of color. Like barely any. That's a different run for a different time because I don't have the emotional capacity to process that right now. I think I stopped going to lectures because there was just too much work to do. Like, I think I stopped going to lectures in this term because, listen, I had like 3 to 4 essays a week by this stage because I'd have to complete my dissertation, do my portfolios, which is 3 2,000-word essays, do the paperwork, so for like Renaissance, and then do prac crit. So in theory, I should have been doing 4 essays a week. Did I do that? Did I even do 2? The thing I learned academically about second year, the cost of not organising yourself and the cost of loving to do everything last minute. It does come at a cost of your own sanity. But at the same time, a lot of it is what happens when you stop being motivated by your degree and what you're doing. So I've learned so many lessons because I literally felt like in second year I went to that stage where I just didn't like English anymore. I don't care. Like literally, it's in this term that I felt like ill. I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, I felt like really ill. And so it was just but I'll explain that in a different video. Going back to what I was saying, I feel like definitely it did teach me a lot about like that, like in a career I want to love what I'm doing, because now I've learned that I actually won't do it if I don't love what I'm doing. I just won't apply myself and I won't do it. And so it was kind of sad having that moment of like, I didn't fall out of love with English because I loved English, if that makes sense, but the degree at Cambridge was the problem, which we'll talk about a different time. Socially, I think studying is a lonely game. Like, truth be told, studying is a lonely game, and that's just the reality of it. You can study with friends, but ultimately it is a lonely game. But on the flip side, I was neighbours with Olivia and Kit, which helped me get through everything. And my other neighbours, like when we'd all be in the kitchen cooking, they were really nice. And so it ends up being like small interactions like that, like talking to people while you're cooking and like talking to porters and stuff like that. Like those end up being the interactions that you savour. You literally savour it because not that they're rare, but they're rare. And like they're just nice when you're just like so like lonely all the time. I feel like I definitely found myself in Homerton a lot more, and just like mainly at Homerton. I very rarely went outside of college. I'll tell you, second year is the year where friendships go through it. Friendships go through it in second year. And so I won't say too much about all of it, but I do want to say don't take paracetamol for someone else's headache. Stop having opinions when you don't have responsibility. I think that's the big takeaway from my second term socially. Personally, I'm not involved.
I'm not getting involved. I'm here to enjoy myself, GC style, do you know what I mean?
Second term hit hard, and I feel like the mountain pressure of everything meant that where I can usually carry baggage emotionally, I just couldn't anymore. So So I actually finally went to counselling, which is really good and really big step, you know, in your mental health journey is to go to counselling. So I made that really big step at that time because there was just so much going on. See, everything academic and social and personal was just a kaleidoscope. Starting to experience illness. Like at this stage I was okay. It was more in exam time when, darling, when I tell you I should have left then. Second term was rough. Like my edges went through it. Second term was overall, second year was just a rough year. Like even the content of some of the stuff we're studying was just really like hard to kind of process, and so that made it even harder than it had to be. But I did bring a spare battery and my battery just died, so it is what it is. But thank you for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.